Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to math. Today, we're going to wrap up cones. Okay, remember last class we were dealing with cones, how to find the lateral and surface area of them. Okay, today, we're going to wrap them up by finding the volume. Okay, so our objective for today is to find the value of the cone. Okay, the equation we have to deal with today is V equals 1/3. Okay, let's put it up a little more. V equals 1/3 pi r squared times height. Okay. Okay, now that we know the equation, if you guys remember last class, the cone had the altitude, also known as the height. Okay, all we really need about the cone, or the parts we only need of the cone, are the radius and the height. Okay, remember, the altitude is also known as the height. The radius is from the center to the edge of the circle, or the base. For radius, we use 3.14. I mean, not radius. For uh, the mark here, the symbol, which is pi, it's 3.14. Okay. All right. Our first example for today. Okay, we have this cone here. Okay. Diameter 16. The height is 8. Okay. So our diameter equals 16 centimeters. Our height is known as 8 centimeters. Okay. Notice that we do not have a radius. Okay. So what we're going to do is we do have a diameter. Okay. The diameter is from one edge to the other. Okay. The radius is from the center to one edge. So all we have to do to this diameter is cut it in half. Okay, so 16 divided by 2. So our radius equals 8 centimeters. Okay, so 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now that we have everything we need to plug it into the equation, we can actually plug it in. Okay, so we're going to have V equals 1/3 pi. Notice that radius, we know what radius is, which in this case is 8. So 8 squared, and then height, which we already know what it is again, it's 8. Okay. What I'm going to do is we'll do V equals 1/3 pi. 8 times 8 is 64 times 8. Okay. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to combine 64 times 8, which is 512. Okay. So the volume equals 1/3 pi times 512. Okay. Then I'm going to combine the 512 and the pi. So V equals 1/3 512 times pi equals 1608.49. Okay, we're only going to get one after the decimal since the 9 makes the 4 of 5. Okay. And then finally, we're going to multiply by 1/3. Or we can also say we're going to divide 1608.5 divided by 3. Okay? So 1608.5 divided by 3, which we get the volume equals 536.16. Okay, so 1, which technically the 6 makes the 1 a 2. Okay. You might ask yourself, why did you divide? Because technically multiplying by 1/3 is like saying divided by 3. Okay. So 536.2 centimeters, because we're dealing with centimeters. And since we're dealing with volume, it is cubed. Okay. All right, let's do one more just to get that extra practice. Make sure you have this one written down. All right, for our next one, okay? This is our next problem. Notice that we have a radius, okay? But we do not have a height. We have a slanted height, okay, over here. So what we need to do is look at the thing here. The line, the height, and then the slanted makes a triangle. So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the height, since we have the hypotenuse and one of the legs. Okay? So in order to find the height on this one, we have to say A squared plus B squared equals C squared, which is the Pythagorean theorem. Okay? Since we had one of the bases, which was 6, okay, notice we have 6. Okay? So we say 6 squared plus B squared equals C squared. Remember, C is always your hypotenuse, always across from the 90-degree angle. Okay? In this case, 10. So 10 squared. So now, 6 times 6 is 36. Plus B squared equals 10 times 10, which is 100. In order to leave B a square, we have to get rid of the 36. Since it's positive, the opposite of positive 36 is negative. So if B squared equals, we borrow from the 10, or the 1, make it a 10, then we borrow from there 9. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 3 is 6. So 64. 64 equals B squared, so we radical. Both of them to cancel the radical out. So B equals 8, because 8, or the square root of 64 is 8. Okay, so that's our height. We found our height, and we already had our radius, which our radius was 6. So we have a radius of 6. So we have radius equals 6. Our height equals what we found, which was 8. Okay, that's all we really need. Because remember, we found 8 from here. So we can say volume, or V, equals 1/3 pi r, which instead of r, we're going to put 6 squared times height, which is 8. Okay, so again, volume equals 1/3 pi 6 times 6, which is 36, times 8. Okay, there's different ways to do it. You can plug it in like that, okay, into your calculator. I'm going to do 36 times 8. So 36 times 8 equals 288. Okay? So V equals 1/3 pi times 288. Okay? Now, we're going to multiply by pi. V equals 1/3. 288 times pi is 904.77. Okay, therefore 8. And then we divide by 3 to get our final answer. So 904.8 divided by 3, which is the volume, equals 301.6. Since we're dealing with centimeters again, and we're dealing with volume, it's cubed. Okay? And that's it. Notice that for this one, we had to find the height using Pythagorean theorem. Okay? Again, what's always across from your 90-degree angle is your hypotenuse. Make sure you have everything on your notes. Alright guys, so your assignment for today is for your first one, you have a radius of 8. Okay? Radius of 8, height of 10. That's all feet. Number 2 is diameter equals 12 centimeters. Our height equals 5 centimeters. Okay. And then the last one, number 3, our radius equals 4 yards. Our slanted height equals 16. Let's go with not 80, that's a big number. Let's go with 20. Okay, 20 yards. All right, so you have 3 problems on the board. Okay, if you have any help, if you need any help, guys, don't hesitate to ask. Okay, I'm here for you guys. I'm here to help you guys out, understand the concepts better. Make sure you send me your answers as soon as you're done watching the video, and I'll be here waiting for your email.